You have your documents drafted, signed, and put away. Most people don't discuss the estate administration process before a loved one dies, because let's face it, who really wants to? But if the person that you name as your executor doesn't know what to do, they could fall victim to one of the 5 most common mistakes I see when settling someone's estate. Stay tuned.
Welcome to this episode of Your Legal Legacy with your host, Attorney Michelle Conti.
I see a lot: grieving, anger, confusion, kids not getting along. I hate to say it, but this is pretty typical for when a mom or a dad dies. What makes it worse are the mistakes that the executor makes after the funeral is over and the rest of the family has gone back home. All the paperwork to follow. The first mistake that I see is the executor uses the wrong documents to probate the estate. One of the first responsibilities of the executor is to make sure that they have found the original will and have completed the right documents to take to the courthouse to start the probate process. Do we have the most recent signed and dated will? Do we even have a will? What about if the person passed away with a trust instead? Did the executor complete the correct petition for the court? These are questions you need to know the answers to. The second biggest mistake that I've seen is failing to adhere to the probate requirements. Unlike other states, the probate requirements in Pennsylvania are not very strict. But with that being said, there are a few requirements that must be followed. In order to ensure that everyone who has a claim or an interest in the decedent's estate is aware that there is an estate, the law requires notice to be given to all interested parties. So the executor must give notice to everyone named in the will, as well as anyone who's been disinherited under the will or anyone that has a right to challenge the will. Upon providing this notice, the executor then must inform the court by filing another form. The estate also has to be advertised once a week for 3 weeks in a paper of general circulation and in a legal journal. This is to provide notice to creditors that might not otherwise receive notice of that past person dying. Advertising the estate cuts off creditors after 1 year. The third mistake I see is distributing money too early. The executor is personally liable for the estate and all distributions made. If the executor makes distributions before everything is done, like paying creditors, paying taxes, that executor is personally responsible. These are known as at-risk distributions, and they should be avoided. While there's nothing to say that the executor can't make these distributions, a miscalculation or an unexpected claim can put the executor at risk. I certainly wouldn't advise it. Number 4, tax mistakes. The tax forms that the Commonwealth and the federal estate require, they often look simple enough, but believe it or not, there are strategies and techniques that you may not be aware of. But the bigger mistake that the executors usually make is not timely filing these returns. Missing deadlines can get you into trouble and can cost the estate money. Pennsylvania requires the inheritance tax return to be filed within 9 months, or else you're subject to penalties and interest on a daily basis. However, if you file or make an estimated payment within 3 months of death, the estate will receive a 5% discount. The last mistake I see is executors don't always conclude the estate in the appropriate manner, meaning they don't close it. When the administration process is over, it's important that it's closed so that we protect not only the executor's liability, but any more claims on the estate. Generally, there are 2 ways to do this. 1, by court approval, which we want to avoid because it's costly. Number 2 is by family settlement. This is what most people want if they all agree. So they're aware of all the costs, they agree on where the money went, what debt there was. Don't allow yourself to be burdened or strapped with trying to learn how to be an estate attorney after mom dies. Give me a call and I'd be happy to assist you through this process.
Thank you for watching Your Legal Legacy. For more great information, visit ContiLawLLC.com.